Well, it's Tuesday morning, just about recovered from the day trip to Portsmouth yesterday. And by the time I got there, well, it was absolutely throwing it down. It rained constantly from lunchtime all the way through to late afternoon, just in the time frame when I wanted to get some footage of the wonderfully historic and atmospheric city of Portsmouth. And for those of you that know what it's like when you're trying to do filming in the rain, it's an absolute pain in the backside. So that really sort of scuppered a lot of the plans that I had for yesterday. On the plus side, Portsmouth is a fantastic place to go and visit. I was arranging to meet Roxy Zwicker, who is an author. She's produced this wonderful book called Haunted Portsmouth. Highly recommend it, by the way. She's known as New England's scary godmother, and she really isn't. She's absolutely wonderful. She runs these fantastic ghost tours. She's the author of 7 books, including the one on Haunted Portsmouth. She does the trolley tours, and she's a fantastic guide. And she described Portsmouth as this place where it's a place where cars really don't belong on the streets. That you're almost stepping back into a time that predates that, and I totally get what she was saying. When I got there, I visited her wonderful shop. It's called Dead Wigs, and it's brilliant. Anything sort of unusual, anything to do with the ghosts, the witches that are often associated with New England, you know, that's the place to be. Go and explore it. Went and had food at one of their other outlets. It's called Fezzy Wigs. Highly recommend the Reuben there. That was absolutely gorgeous for a sandwich. I think probably the best sandwich I've ever had, apart from the ones my wife makes, of course. And then had a little bit of a wander around in the rain, trying to pick up some footage. But what I did notice yesterday was just how welcoming the people in Portsmouth are, especially when they find out that you're British. One nice lady even asked if I could just stay in the shop with her all day and just talk to her, just so she could hear my voice, which is lovely to think that people actually want to listen to me. Most people tell me to shut up and go away. But anyway, the ghost tour last night was really, really good. And because there were only 5 of us, the rest having dropped out because of the bad weather, what we did get was a tour with a little bit extra. Roxy stopped at places that she doesn't always have time to stop on the tours, so we got those extra little tidbits of spooky stories to go away with. A lot of them obviously aren't put in this book because it was published back in 2007. So what goes on the tour is pretty much kept up to date with things that are reported back to her. So what I would advise is get the book, Haunted Portsmouth, but also if you can get over to New England, visit the absolutely charming and atmospheric city. You will not be disappointed.
With, as it says on the wall of the office, Ron Kolek, the paranormal ghost hunter.
Absolutely.
I don't know whether that means that you are a paranormal ghost hunter.
He's a dead, and I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. With New England's own paranormal dead ghost hunter, Ron Kolek. Me, of course, the gold standard in ghost hunting.
And
the teller of curious tales. You're listening to us, hopefully live
What's your
on
laugh?
TogiNet or Para X, or maybe one of the podcasts.
not as good as yours. I can't do it as good as yours. I realize that,
New
Mr.
England's
Teller.
own Van Helsing. It's
Oh, God.
We don't know what it is, but they're selling it at
No.
Dunkin' Donuts.
we were told it's a Bigfoot poop. Quite well be. Ladies and gentlemen, the teller of curious tales will now kill himself by taking a bite. Come on then, teller of curious tales. You get that out of the way. We're making a masterpiece movie. Dun, 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 dun. This should be done in slow-mo when we transmit it.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh, sod off, it's not nice, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Really? So,
You would-
so Bigfoot poop is good?
You wouldn't like it.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Bigfoot poop tastes good. As recommended by New England's own Van Helsing. Cut.
Tonight we're at VZ Park for the Red Light Seance.
Red light seance is something that we've been studying for almost 4 years now. I've always had an interest in physical mediumship as opposed to mental mediumship. And for those who don't know what physical mediumship is, that's when the spirits don't go through a medium, but rather come into our realm to touch physical things, to move them, to ring bells, to submit their voices. So it was my hope to duplicate some of these early seances that the spiritualists held, where physical mediumship was so important to them.
This is Ron's experiment, the red light seance, something he's been doing for the last 4 years. Recreating the Victorian seances. The use of red light was quite common in the Victorian era, although people do tend to assume that it was red light, but often it was just oil lamps. Be interesting to see what happens, if anything happens at all. Will there be table tipping? Will there be apports? Will there be physical phenomena? Well, we'll wait and find out.
One of the other things we're doing, or attempting to do, is see how the variation, the spiritualists used a lot of music in the early days. They used very, everything from Amazing Grace to, all kinds of robot songs and everything, very loud at times. So we have been experimenting with different types of music and see if that enhances the phenomena or not. So that's what we're attempting to do as well.
We'd like for you to help us with our quest of the physical mediumship. We would like to ask you questions through the table. Since you're so strong, we would like to ask for you to answer with the table moving for yes and stop the table for no. Can you show us what no is, please? Thank you.
Did you even peeked round the corner then as well?